Valheim, an incredible survival game where you can build Viking villages, sail to the ends of the world, and fight epic enemies. A game with near infinite possibilities and so much to do. But I can't do any of that because I'm out of stamina. Again. Yep. Drowning again too. Great. In this video, we're going to teach you everything you need to know about the stamina bar, from what it does, why it's so important, and how to use it effectively. First things first, what is stamina? So stamina is the little yellow bar right below your character that determines whether or not you can complete certain actions. It's used up slowly when you're sprinting, jumping, swimming, attacking, blocking, dodge rolling, mining, chopping wood, fishing, really any major activity of something you want to do in the game. When you run out of stamina, you'll stop actions that require stamina. So if you're sprinting, you'll return to a regular jog when your stamina runs out, like so. In combat, you will not be able to swing without stamina, and your blocks will be overpowered. Jumping is also not possible without stamina, and it will cut your jump short should you run out. When you are in water, your stamina bar will be used to swim and keep yourself afloat. Should you run out of stamina, you'll begin taking drowning damage. Your base stamina is very low, and it can be a real nightmare to repeatedly run out at a bad time. So let's talk about how we can improve our stamina. The primary way to improve stamina in Valheim is to consume food items. Food items give you a buff for a specific duration that increase your health, healing per second, and, probably most important, your stamina. This additional stamina will allow you to run for longer, fight much more effectively, and mine ore and chop trees at a much faster pace. As you can see, my maximum stamina has now increased. Food starts out pretty simple, but as the game advances, it can become more complicated in how you can create it and what you use to get food. I will cover this in a future video, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. I also want to note that there are a thing in the game called meads, and that is Valheim's equivalent of potions, and these can provide stamina buffs as well as stamina regeneration rate and restoring stamina directly. That as well will have a video down the road. While stamina can be buffed, it can also be debuffed. The primary and most common ways this can happen is the wet and cold debuff. The wet debuff is applied by swimming in water, by being in the swamp biome, or being hit by rain. As you can see, I now have the wet debuff for 2 minutes. Additionally, you'll see that day has turned into night. At nighttime, I have the cold debuff. Both of these effects lower your stamina regeneration and can be a pain to deal with. These effects can be countered by being near a fire or a bonfire to get the fire buff. As you can see from the top right, my wet debuff went away 10 times faster by being next to a fire. The cold debuff will also be removed next to a fire, but the moment that you leave the fire and go back outside during nighttime, you'll get the cold debuff back. The easiest way to deal with the night debuff is to simply go to your bed and sleep through the night so that you wake up in the morning. For many of the reasons we've already covered in this video, stamina management is of the utmost importance. When going to more dangerous zones, it is better to have strong food buff items from better foods running. I tend to save those strong food items for the harder zones and use some of the weaker food buffs in the easier zones. Another key element to stamina management is making sure that you don't run out of stamina right before you start combat. This can occur by sprinting around too much and then seeing an enemy and forgetting to manage your stamina. In this case, it was a weak enemy, but should I do this in a tougher biome and not have the stamina to either attack or defend myself, I could end up taking a lot of unnecessary damage and potentially dying. I think it's fair to say that one of my #1 causes of death is running out of stamina when surrounded by enemies. Finally, let's cover a few tips for managing stamina in combat. Here, we have a fearsome troll. I'm going to try to not engage the troll until my stamina recovers. Now, as I approach him, I want to make sure that I always have stamina to do a roll dodge. I'm not getting over greedy and spending all of my stamina on attacks. I'm trying to ensure that my stamina is recovered, always giving me an option to dodge damage. It is better to dodge damage and take a slower fight than to get greedy and die. As the fight goes on, I notice that my stamina is low. One thing that I tend to do in these situations is something that I call walk or jog kiting. Basically, I'm not engaging with the enemy and I'm still defending myself by not being in their attack range, but I'm recovering stamina. Then I can resume the fight. If stamina gets low again, I can just walk out, recover my stamina, and re-engage as my stamina increases. Against this troll, I will also try to make sure that I'm managing enough stamina so that I can block and also get a counterattack. These few clips showed us how to manage our stamina in a fight, but I will be giving a much more in-depth combat guide in the future. So what's the lesson learned here? Stamina can be a real pain in the butt in this game and is frequently the reason people end up dying or taking much longer to complete basic tasks. Learning what it is and how to use it will make Valheim a much more pleasant experience for you. I hope this video helped you and you learned a thing or two from it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Oh, I didn't see you there. You watched all the way to the end. You madman. Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, now that you're here, you might as well hit that like button and the subscribe button, and hey, if you want to, come check me out on Twitch at Captain Rob Games.